Good morning, Ashley here on the Daily Stoic Recovery podcast on the 20th of January. Reignite your thoughts. Your principles can't be extinguished unless you snuff out the thoughts that feed them. For it's continually in your power to reignite new ones. It's possible to start living again. See things as new as you once did. That is how you restart life. Marcus Aurelius Meditations from A Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. Marcus has scribbled a few notes here about how he was feeling. Maybe he was feeling a bit disappointed, maybe he was suffering at the time, maybe he was a bit depressed, a bit down in the dumps, maybe he'd had a bad couple of weeks. And yeah, in this passage he seems to be reminding himself that he has reminded himself of his own powers to regain his principles, regain who he once was before he had the drama in his life, before he was in the suffering he might have been at this time. So yeah, we all go through it. We all go through disappointment and suffering and not feeling great, and we all have these periods of feeling like lost hope. But the key is knowing that you have the inner power to bring up, to regain your principles, to as Ryan says, reignite your thoughts. And what Marcus is saying here about snuffing out the thoughts that feed them, I believe there he's talking about maybe being distracted by the environment and snuffing out his principles. Maybe lost the control of himself. Maybe he lost. Maybe he just needed to remind himself what he controlled, what he didn't control. And when we get snuffed out, when we get distracted by an environment, it can happen where we can just start to follow the mob, as in other passages it mentions, follow the river, however you want to phrase it. And it's quite normal. It happens to everyone. Everyone falls off a cart now and again. Everyone behaves in a disappointing manner. Everyone's disappointed with their behaviour at some point. And I know in the modern world there's a lot of noise about perfection and social media and TV, radio, newspapers, internet, where everyone talks about their perfect life and how it seems that some people just how you might perceive that successful people have never made mistakes, have never been through disappointment, never gone through the adversity, as we sort of see, and we sort of see it through eyes of they've always had it perfect. I could never do what they did. How I can never be as good as they are. But we forget to realise that everyone goes through tough times. Everyone goes through disappointment. Everyone behaves in a manner that is not within their principles. But what successful people know, all the great people in the past, they know that they stick to their principles as much as they can. They're clear on their principles. So first off, what are your principles? Who are you? Are you reflecting on a daily basis who you are, why you're here, where are you, what are you doing? It's constantly to achieve greatness, achieve purity, to always be capable of bringing these principles back up. We have to be aware of them. What your principles? Are you do you want to be a kind person? And for me, principles need to be internally dependent. It's principles that you control, that no one else can touch. Your behaviours, your attitude, how you're acting, how you think, how you feel, your state of being. That's the stuff that you control. What is a principle? Like, what is it? What do you perceive a principle to be? For me, a principle is just doing what I set out to do at the start of the day. Having a clear direction of where I want to go. Being grateful for what I have. Being an honest person as much as I can. Being resilient to adversity. Showing courage. And the temperance, having the self-control and the courage to reflect and steer away from these external things and distractions, as every day there seems to be a new distraction in our world that are trying to pull your attention. So it's constantly reminding you of your own principles and moving with that. Being aware of the temptations that'll maybe try and pull you away from your principles. As yesterday I got distracted by the new app that's been created. I spent a few hours yesterday and the day before, and I set out my intention for the day, and I got distracted by this app, and I was on it, and I didn't achieve what I wanted to achieve at the start of the day. But that's the past. And yeah, I was disappointed for a few minutes, but I realised, right, it's a new day. That past is the past. What happened 5 minutes ago, what I said 1 minute ago in this video, it's gone. It's what happens now. What actions I take now? Who am I being now? And yeah, it's being aware of that and just living it like that as much as you can, making it a habit to stick as much as you can to your principles. For me, it's honesty, courage, 4 virtues: honesty, courage, justice, and temperance. 4 virtues of a Stoic. And yeah, have a think about your principles and what's stopping you from behaving like that. And yeah, just being aware that your disappointment is just an opportunity to reflect on, why you were disappointed, who was you with, what caused it. Explore the triggers, explore the external triggers that maybe set you on that journey of being in that place, and snuff out them. Maybe you could snuff out them rather than snuffing out, who you want to be, what you want to share to the world, what you want to give, what you want to create. because they are all in your control. But first, it's knowing that you have the freedom to do these things at any given time. Start living again. See things as you once did. See things how you used to see things as a child. Remember when you were running around and had no worries, just running around, no care for what people said about you, and you're running around playing football in the playground with your kids, at school, touching things, being curious about things, inventing things, building things, climbing things, playing, full of joy. All those trips that you went on, all the holidays. Maybe we could go back to that. Yeah, what's stopping you from going back to that sort of place? Feeling joy. And yeah, it's remembering the good times, bringing it back, remembering when you felt good, all those good times you might have spent with your family, and when you took a certain action, and when you give something to someone, when you shared something to someone, where you helped someone, how good that felt. When you had those days where you just stuck to your intentions, and how good it felt at the end of the day. And when you behaved, the times you behaved in a manner that that's aligned with your values, your principles, how you want to live. You can press a restart button at any time. It's there, it's waiting for you. It's very in front of you. Just you might be clouded to see, notice it's not there, but you might be clouded by the distractions, all these people that are saying you should do this, you should do that, you shouldn't do that, all the noise. So it's being objective about these things, being subjective about the objective, knowing what you control, what you don't control. This is this month in January, it's all about perceptions. And taking a deep breath. Okay, thanks for listening to today's My Daily Stoic Recovery with Ash. I'll upload this now. Have a good day.